Student athletes who will be on the dais today will be Flo Thamba and LJ Cryer. And we'll go ahead and take questions for the student athletes. We'll go right down here in the front row on the left.
John Werner, Waco Tribune Herald. This is for Flo. They've got a pretty outstanding center in Ryan Kalkbrenner. What do you guys got to do to maybe kind of slow him down?
I mean, the best thing we can do is just limit his touches. Usually if somebody gets the ball, they're able to make any kinds of moves and stuff like that. But limiting his touches and making other players, score the ball, and so that'll definitely play in our favor.
In the second row on the left.
Hey there, LJ. This is Michael Haig with the Baylor Lariat. I know y'all, it's a short turnaround for a quick game. What are y'all kind of seeing from Creighton? What are y'all maybe working on to try to limit them?
I mean, we see that they like to throw the ball to the post. Big fella is pretty good, so we got to be real physical with them and be physical with the guards as well to not have those post touches so easy.
Follow up.
And then also, first tournament game for you that you got to play extended minutes. Just how'd that feel for you? Was that pretty exciting?
It was definitely exciting. Something you dream of doing as a kid, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
In the front row.
LJ, you guys played great defense second half. What do y'all have to do to maybe kind of start that way too?
Just come out there focused, locked in on the scouting report, and make winning the main thing. As long as we put winning in our minds, and that's all that matters, we'll go out there and play great defense.
We'll be in the third row in the aisle.
Hey, I'm Mark Kisler with the Denver Post. You're both outstanding players. On the rare occasions when you do mess up, how does a God-fearing man like Coach Drew chew you out?
I mean, he chews us out by giving us more confidence as far as going out there and executing and actually doing it right. As a matter of fact, him chewing you out is not really it. It's more so knowing the fact that you made a mistake and you let your teammates down. So you kind of take it personally, and usually the guys in the team usually take that to heart. So just go out there and perform and fix your mistakes and move on to the next play.
LJ, you want to respond to that?
I think he hit it head on.
Any other questions out here? Going to stay in the front row.
This is for Flo. You guys hit the boards really well yesterday. Was that pretty much pounded into you guys' heads for a few days, and you feel like it paid off?
Most definitely. I mean, we pride ourselves on getting better on defense, and obviously when you play defense, as much as you can guard, the reality is you got to finish by getting a rebound. So we definitely worked on that, make sure we end plays and just limit teams to one shot.
The fourth row.
LJ, John Morris, Baylor Radio. You guys have been in situations this year in tournaments where you've had quick turnarounds. Explain how that helps you come to NCAA time.
I mean, quick turnarounds and earlier in the season is definitely going to help us because it's the same type of format as this tournament. So, I mean, we know what we have to do to get our legs under us, like ice bath, Epsom salt, stuff like that. So, I mean, we've been in this situation before, so it's nothing new to us.
Second row.
Yeah, Flo, I mean, I know y'all don't look around across the country or anything like that, but with the FDU over Purdue upset, and you've been playing college basketball a long time, watching it too, is college basketball maybe in the most, I mean, is there the most parity in college basketball maybe right now in recent years?
I mean, there's over 360 teams in Division I, and the reality is you can't underestimate any team. And I mean, obviously with March Madness, you're gonna have the best team of every conference. So the reality is you just gotta show up and you gotta play. And you can't take any game for granted, whether it be the first game or the last game.
I'd like to remind the media who are joining us on Zoom, if you do have a question, please use the raised hand function and we will get to you. Additional questions here in the room? All right, gentlemen, hearing no more, that'll do it. Thank you for your time. Baylor coach Scott Drew is scheduled at 1:55, so we do have 15 minutes. We have to wait.
That's what I just said. I was like, wow. You guys have a long day. So always the same. First 2 days. With Steve Nash.
We went on a 25 to run down 13.
Yeah, that's an X factor. Steve Nash, not everybody has a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really, like, he wasn't that tough.
Because the shot clock should even things out, but we all know parity. So many big players, like a guy who's ranked 40 and a guy who's ranked 200, 50, there's not much. I mean, like the 2 or 3 elite guys stand out. There's other loss. There's more. Well, the added extra makes it easy because in 5th and 6th year guys, no matter how good a freshman is, so if you take him, so that's the instant equalizer. Oh, I've got strike coaches when they're 15 years old. Then they all, but so teams you like. I hate the argument because I've always, because I grew up in Mount Hope, like Orange, and then you lose the conference tournament. With the conference tournament, you should be in. With the conference, you should be in. And then it's 120 games, 7 games. And I know I'm in the minority because right now I should be on 6 because we're the program should get in. So I'm thinking, but the argument goes back. I mean, like, look at they were in that conference or their conference. Sure. My point is, there is parity. You know, and so what I'm thinking is, it's, I don't care who's good. You know, back 30 years ago, regardless of the shot, we stayed 3 or 4 years. Powerhouses were powerhouses. But yeah, there was 40, 50 points. You don't, I mean, how many 40-point games do you see now? Maybe 1 or 2 or 1 per 6 games. But it's not all of them. They were terrible. They beat us twice. They made all their buckets against us. That's how it always works. Root was a good man. We were in Arizona when they had that. It was the bottom guy. Yeah. His hospitality room was that Fiesta Classic Day was always in there. He always had special vino wine for early waiting. You still with what you say? How you guys doing? Sound Paramus, there's a mountain, and they live on this side of it, closer to Houston. It's a 15-minute drive to campus, 15.
All right, we'll go ahead and continue with Baylor. Coach Scott Drew. Again, please, if you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get to your handheld microphone. As you pose your question, please identify yourself and your media affiliation. And for those who are joining us online, you can use the raised hand function if you have a question. And we can just go ahead and open up with any remarks that you might have, Coach, about.
Well, the great thing is when you win, it's always a great win in the NCAA tournament. Everyone knows the parity, and it's the reason no one has a perfect bracket after the first 2 days. At the same time, the bad news is that means you're preparing for another really good team, and Coach McDermott and his staff do a great job, and Creighton is one of those teams that ranked 7th in the nation, and then an injury to Big Fella probably kept them from getting a 3 or 4 seed. But it's a really good team, really well coached, a lot of respect for them.
All right, we'll go to the right side, second row.
John can go first.
All right, we'll go to the left side then.
Okay. Scott, the challenge of facing Ryan, their center, what do y'all have to do against him?
Well, you don't face a lot of guys 7'1", 260 that have his skill level and his touch. Leads the nation in field goal percentage, back-to-back Big East Player of the Year. So part of his success is because the players around him. They do a great job getting him in the ball. They can shoot it, which spaces the floor. And like any good team, they got 2 or 3 things. I mean, so if you collapse on them, they can hit the 3. If you stay out, they hurt you inside. So with us, this time of year, in a one-day prep, you are who you are, you do what you do, and you make a tweak here or there, but definitely everybody sees them on the court. You can't miss 7'1", 260.
Okay, now we'll go to the right side.
Off of that, how do you simulate 7'1", 260 in practice?
Yeah, we got cowboy boots for flow, so we're good. But the good thing is we got big guys, Josh, Flo, John, Zach. At the same time, in the Big 12, every team's got some big guys, but really credit to Creighton and their coaching staff for doing a great job developing him and how they utilize him.
On the left side on the aisle.
Mark Kislow, Denver Post. I know this is an old story to you, but indulge me if you'd be so kind. The 10 push-up idea, and if a player lets
For curse words?
Yeah. What was the genesis of that?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Yeah.
And is there a list of words?
So our strongest guys on the team usually curse the most. But Enrico Gathers obviously cursed every word because he was a beast. But we have so many young kids that come to our practices, games. They're role models. I mean, we all curse, and I'm not condemning anyone or judging anyone. Just we got no cussing policy because I don't want a 7-year-old coming to our practice, going home and dropping F-bombs and say learning it from our players or coaches.
Does one set of 10 usually get it done, or?
Well, sometimes we got to do lines. Just like parenting, you have different degrees, different amounts, and usually the problem gets resolved.
We'll go to the right side, fourth row.
Scott, I'm Vinny Benedetto with the Denver Gazette. I'm just curious what you remember from that 2014 NCAA tournament matchup against Creighton.
I mean, that was a long time ago. I had a lot more hair back then. We were a different team. We had a lot of size, length. We had a good zone. And I know that was a game that they just missed a bunch of shots. They had some good looks, and some games they go in, some games they don't. And I know, again, Coach McDermott's a great coach and had a lot of success. And they're never going to beat themselves, and you really got to be on point so that you give your guys every chance to be successful.
We'll stay on the right side, third row.
Hey, Coach, just how much are you preaching getting off to a fast start in this game after kind of, seeing two different sides of your team in the first half versus the second half in the last game?
Well, I think coaches always know that you prefer to get off the fast starts, but we had a coach, Coach Driscoll, used to always say early leads mean nothing, and at the end of the day, it's a 40-minute game. You have to handle being up, being down, the adversity, success of it all. At this level, teams don't go away. You look at two of the upsets. I think Arizona was up 10. Arizona was up 12 in the second half, and Virginia was up 12 in the second half. I know Tennessee's beating Duke right now, and they were up 18, and then Tennessee won by 3 in the end. So the game is, there's so many runs with the three-point line, with the athleticism. You just got to do whatever you can to be successful each possession.
Down here in front row on the left.
Scott, did you recruit Baylor Shireman, and is that going to
He's definitely got the best name in the tournament.
I mean, did you know much about him in recruiting, or did you see him?
No, didn't until he hit the transfer portal, and we didn't need that position at the time. But Coach Mills played against him and said he was a heck of a player, and obviously watching him, he's a heck of a player. And again, love his name, and hopefully this Baylor does better than that Baylor tomorrow.
We'll go to the second row on the right.
In terms of that, he has the similar quality to your guards, where it seems like once he crosses half court,
Yeah.
he's got a liability to shoot. Does that help having Adam and LJ and Keontae, who kind of know what guarding that is like in practice?
Well, definitely having talented players in depth allow you to face and focus everything that you're going to see in a game. And Baylor, the unique thing about him is his size at 6'7", being able to shoot it so deep and pass it. And he's a fun player to watch, and definitely one of the most skilled players in the college game.
Back over here in the aisle.
I want to go back to something you just said, the runs. Knuckleheads like me usually say, the coach has to stop the run when the other team's like, get your timeout. I haven't thought about it the other way. Do you know when a run's coming for your team?
Yeah.
And how do you coach up runs?
Well, if we could do that and make them to order, every coach would start the game with a run and have that run go the entire game. You know what? You feel the momentum. You feel it. You feel it just in the arena when the crowd, when the other team has confidence. You feel it when you have confidence and when you have energy. And it's amazing how quick they can start and things that lead to them starting. I mean, an open shot that you miss that normally you hit, or missing 2 free throws, or just anything. But today the game's changed so quick, and it starts with the three-point line and the athleticism, the pace of the game. It's with the shot clock each and every year has gotten reduced. You just have, it's like the NBA. I mean, you can turn on the last 3 minutes, because up to that point, you never know what's going to happen.
We'll go to the right side, far right.
Besides Jokic and a triple-double.
Jeff Legwall, the ESPN. Could you go back to, everyone wants to limit Kalkbrenner's ability to get the ball. Can you just expound on what you think they do well to keep getting it to him?
Well, first, they run great sets. They have great spacing. He's a big target. I mean, it's like a big tight end in football across the middle. It's hard to guard them. And, I mean, you can front him. You can double him, try to push him out. You can be physical with him. You play zone. But 7-1, they do a great job keeping 4 shooters around him, 4 skilled players around him. If you have a team that can't shoot, then you can really pack it in. So, again, that makes it all difficult to guard him.
We'll stay on the right side.
Coach, in terms of Langston, how do you think he did in the couple minutes that he returned to the court, and was not utilizing him as much in the second half? Was there something that maybe he was still getting bothered by, or was that just the flow of the game?
Yeah, Langston wanted to try to give it a go. And again, I think this is when you just come back from an injury. Sani for them was back, but didn't really play till the very last minute of the game. It's hard when you miss practice and then all of a sudden go out there without having a chance to get the rhythm and routine. So it's really important to get him some minutes, because I think that'll open up possibly in the future to get him more. Obviously, practice days would help, but we don't have that right now.
We'll go online for our next question. That'll come from, we'll go to Matt Lively. One moment, Matt, we'll open your line. Maybe open his line. Technical difficulty on my part. We'll figure it out here. We'll go ahead. We've got one in the front row here, and we'll figure this out online here.
Scott, I'm trying to think back. Have y'all faced anybody who compares to Kalkbrenner? Seems like most teams are so guard-oriented these days.
Yeah, I think I go back to the Kansas teams with Doak, McCormick. I think that size probably simulates them a lot more than you're right, current basketball. There are several great centers, but in the Big 12 this year, we were a little smaller than we normally have been.
Go on the right side.
Coach, I mean, both these teams have a lot of NCAA tournament experience now, especially you guys. I mean, how much does that mean? And you've already had a game under your belt here in similar situation. I guess, what do you think that means going into, a game on Sunday?
I know experience, every coach would rather have it than not have it. But again, in this tournament, in a one-game setting, there is no exact recipe for success. You watch a team play one day, and then you say the next, they're going to the Sweet 16. You turn on the score, and they got blown out. I mean, every game's different. Every matchup's different. And I often heard this, like the ball's in the air, good coach, bad coach, good coach, bad coach. And I mean, with the many one-possession games we've had, I mean, anything can happen. Coaches just want to control everything we can control with the team, and meaning play winning basketball, take good shots, not turn the ball over, do a good job on defensive assignments, and then if the shots are falling, that helps. If they're not, you got to find other ways to stay in games.
Any questions here on the second row on the left?
Foster Nicholas, Baylor Lariat. Coach, you talked about the parity earlier. 2 16 seeds have taken down 1 seeds in the past 5 years. Is that a trend that can continue, and how has the competition of college basketball increased?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, it's just going to get more and more so-called upsets, and you look at it, and players see numbers in 1 and 16, and it's like rankings. You see someone ranked 40th or 30th, and you just assume they're a lot better than someone 300th. I mean, what was Steph ranked coming out? I mean, and with the COVID and people playing 5 and 6 years, I mean, Keontae's freshman of the year in our league, and I said, how many 13-year-olds are beating you? And I mean, he's facing guys that are 5 and 6 years older than him. So I mean, people got to remember all that, and sometimes we don't.
Go to the right side.
Coach, we saw you go pretty much 9 deep in terms of guys getting double-digit minutes yesterday. Was that more a Denver-focused altitude, getting guys breaks thing, or is that something we could see even as you guys go deeper into the postseason?
I think everything's on the table each and every game. The great thing is we got guys that if their number's called, they're gonna play, and if their number's not called, they're gonna be great teammates on the bench. But we have confidence in played 10. We have confidence in all 10, and I think especially in altitude, that's something that first game, early game, we knew we wanted to do. As far as moving forward, whatever game plan gives us the best chance to be successful, and it's such a luxury when you have players that let you coach them, and it's not about them, it's about the team. So if it's 4 minutes, they give you great 4 minutes and great teammates on the bench. It's not, why am I only playing 4, and they're pouting and distracting, and I think teams that win have that this time of year.
And the right side on the aisle.
Scott, what is playing Dale at point guard a lot more these last 2 games, given the team that maybe you all didn't have before that?
I think it gives Adam a chance to rest a little and Adam a chance to come off some different actions. And also Dale does a great job in getting guys shots, and it's just a different look. So in Dale's energy, because Adam plays a lot of minutes, it allows Adam to rest a little bit off the ball, where when you're on it, obviously, it's a lot harder.
Any additional questions for Coach?
Man, you guys had good questions today. You had your coffee, you're ready to go.
Follow up here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Scott, Michael Higg, Baylor Lariat. Just to get LJ back out there after what he dealt with last year, I mean, you talked about it a little bit, but just how good was that to see?
It's still, I mean, LJ's a junior, and our trainer said, like, when we were playing at Oklahoma State, this is the first time LJ's played here. And you just forget about that. So you love a guy that comes back and from adversity and injuries, and having a chance, just like Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua. You love it that they have an opportunity to play.
Yeah, sorry, one more. Josh O yesterday, I mean, in the pick and roll defense especially, it seemed like he was active. I mean, what was he giving you, and what can he maybe continue to give?
Yeah, he's really improved the last couple of weeks in practice, even though he hadn't been playing. When we practice, he's really been good. And this time of year, you really don't have freshmen anymore. And so his learning curve was tough because he wasn't here in the summer much. And he's really been progressing, so that's why we wanted to give him a chance, and he gave us a good lift.
Okay, hearing none, that'll do it. Coach, thank you.
All right, who's winning, Duke or Tennessee? Duke? Okay.
Matt Lively, we apologize. We have technical difficulties
Tennessee was
here.
up one
We'll
when I
try to
came
get those
in, that's
corrected
why
for the next team.
You guys have a good one.